The Beatles are the largest band to ever exist in the history of the world, with some of the most recognizable voices and songs like the track in the back right now. Whether you know this song from the Beatles' actual album or the Minecraft movie trailer, because it was there too. This song is from an album called The Magical Mystery Tour, and the song is called Magical Mystery Tour. But there's one song on this album that I believe is the most unrecognized Beatles song in their entire discography. You see, this album came right after the Beatles' album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which happens to be one of the most experimental albums that the Beatles had ever created. It introduced a lot of their psychedelia sound, which wasn't a huge hit, but the Magical Mystery Tour really started taking this to a little bit of another level, like songs like I Am the Walrus. That was completely unheard of, really, for the time. Now, there's something you need to know about this album, and that there's a song on there called Flying. This is what it sounds like. There's not much to it other than a nice instrumental. Now, the song right after that is titled Blue Jay Way, and just take a quick listen to it. Now, if you're unsettled by that, don't worry, because many people were upon the release of the album, and a lot of people still really don't like the song because of its unsettling feel. This song has a lot of disagreement behind it. Some either really hate it, or you really like it. Now, there's other songs by the Beatles that people really don't like. Revolution 9, Wild Honey Pie. These are obviously joking songs, but Blue Jay Way is a genuine song written by George Harrison that actually has a story behind it that people have just seemed to have forgotten about because it's not as good as the other ones. That's purely opinion. I think it's a phenomenal song. But the reason I think it's so underrated and so forgotten is because of the genius behind the song. If you take a listen to it, there's nothing vulgar, there's nothing outrageous about the song. It's a little unsettling, but that's what gives it its ultimate charm. The song was written by George Harrison when he was sitting in a house in LA on the street, Blue Jay Way. He was waiting for his friends to come to the house, and they lost their way, like the lyric in the song. He saw an organ in the room and started playing on it, and eventually fell asleep waiting for them. It's tame, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think what's lost a lot of fans to it is the fact that it sounds so unsettling. It sounds so unnerving. In my opinion, I think that's the beauty of it, and that's what makes it so incredibly underrated and forgotten by most of the Beatles fans. This one specific lyric, I think just sounds like existential dread. It sounds like such a feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, not knowing what's going on. Even though that's not really the drive of the song or the meaning behind it, I think that's what it conveys. That kind of drawn out, nasally kind of tone. It's just so captivating. There are other Beatles songs that I believe kind of conveys the same kind of emotion, but it's not about the song itself. Take A Day in the Life, for example. It's not really something you'd expect to hear on a track from 1967, but it does also have that kind of unnerving feel. But ironically, A Day in the Life is arguably the Beatles' best song, like ever. It's ranked #1 in quite a few charts. But if you listen to Blue Jay Way, like the whole track all the way through, I hope you understand what I mean with that unsettling, unnerving kind of feel to it. It gives a sense of comfort in that feeling. A common feeling is helplessness, hopelessness, not really knowing what to do, feeling stuck or lost in life. And I think that this song gives a little comfort to that feeling because it's easy to confide in darkness. It's a familiar feeling that we understand. So we kind of tend to lurk in darkness as a coping mechanism. I feel like this song and its overall unnerving feel gives a sense of comfort and clarity to those feelings of helplessness. Anyways, in my opinion, super underrated song.